Good afternoon, Secretary of Health, Janet Karin, my esteemed professors in the room, distinguished panel of experts, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I'm the one keeping you between the end. I'll make it short. Something very difficult to turn down Ted when he forces you to accept a job, and I succeeded. And by the way, Mihita's my classmate. Now, okay, my talk is a slightly different tone as what Mihita said. I agree with everything she says. Now, I have a different assignment. In closing, I'm going to share some important keywords, what we need to do next. Universal healthcare is an intergenerational aspiration. It is a product of continuous struggle for our people to achieve health for all. No shortcuts. It requires commitment, perseverance, hard work, and borrowing Mihita's word, passion. There's need to transform motherhood platitude statements into action. That's the keyword, action. There's a need to translate vision into day-to-day agenda. Change doesn't happen with words, it happens with deeds. We have foreseen the forest, appreciated, critique it. Now it's time to plant the trees. This is not just another health forum. It is a time for action for the health sector. Strategic policy, service implementation, and health outcome mismatch is worth a serious re-examination. Sorry, we need lesser theoretical idealists and think tanks. We need more practical managers who are able to implement competently. We need leaders and doers who have a better sense of humility, know that they are fallible, so that they can do a better job for our society. To borrow a cliche, servant leadership for government and health sector, or at least those of us who knows the problems and the possible solutions, actions or inaction can spell the difference between vision and delusion. Let us continue our concerted effort towards this endeavor. Equally important, let us not forget to recruit and insert in our younger colleagues. We do need brave souls to continue our work. To borrow again the Francis Cone statement from Cagayan de Oro, he says, success without succession is failure. As we say, there are 6 building blocks in the health system strengthening. If you don't know what they are governance, financing, human health resource, access to products and regulation, service delivery, and last but not least, information technology and health. But I dare say, we miss out on an important building block. Sorry, WHO, you were wrong. Crucial as it links the health sector with one another, it is the area of communication. It has to be a two-way communication. Many instances, strides in reforms are not felt by the people we serve. Because of many instances, they are left out in planning such reforms. Effectively, to communicate, we need to bring policy experts and decision makers to the front lines. Trenches. Get dirty, roll up your sleeves, talk to people. The context is equally important as the content, and context is a substrate for effective communication. Mike Toledo knows this very well. Is Mike still here? I hope so, yeah. We need to make reforms more patient-centric. Reforms need to be felt. Dapat may tagos sa puso, may hagot. May hugot pala, sorry, hugot. Pardon my Tagalog, may hugot. I'm glad to see the way. I'm equally happy and glad that the patient groups are amply represented today in this forum. Patients need to take a center stage in health reforms. They know what has to be done, what needs to be done, and it will be an injustice to for them not to deliver on these promises. But let me admonish the patient groups. Be very careful as to your sources of information. Are they credible? They need to discern, filter out the voodoo from the science. They need to be careful of opportunists. Those who make loud noises are not necessarily correct. Patient groups. Patient groups, roles in essential in implementation, feedback, assistance, invaluable. It is important to introspect, but excess of introspection can be considered narcissistic. I heard that also from Francisco on Facebook. You post in any way for people to put likes. In the same way, it is crucial that we look into the health sector, but in reality, many of our outcomes are achieved by looking outside of our health sector. Health for all policies being the mantra, because in reality, health is a social science. You remember the social determinants of health that contributes to what we do in the health sector to achieve health outcomes. We need to blur the lines between divide the social science and medical science, because there are really in fact no lines. We need to engage other sectors quite seriously. Just this morning we had a meeting on the sector called Health and Trade, led by the Department of Health. We were working with NEDA, DTI, BI, PIDS as well, in finding real solutions on healthcare that is transcending the health trade sector. We also need to own up to this call. This forum, the whole day today, has shown us that there is an urgent need to, first, develop our primary healthcare system and balance that with specialist care. We need to change the health and medical science curriculum at all levels. We talk about it, but we rarely do something about it. There has to be more practical, more participative, and more multidisciplinary. Second is to harness private sector's energy, enthusiasm for health reforms while acknowledging their potential conflict of interest. It's a given. Ensure that the buy-in commitments of our local government unit to help. To do this, we may have to start at the fundamentals, educating the electorate to vote wisely. Because competence without character is equal to disaster. We need to make them more accountable, as what Militas mentioned earlier. Patient groups need to demand these rights of their local government leaders. The fourth item is to build enabler system. An example might be information system, supply chain management, human resource management. Believe me, this is all being looked into very seriously, and there will be changes coming forward. This means we need to hold accountable non-performing civil servants. The last item is to invest in better thinking regulators who appreciate the context, environmentally aware, and do not fulfill their role in blind compliance. Standards, after all, promote quality of service delivery. What next after this forum? Definitely this narrative hasn't stopped. As a matter of fact, it will continue for generations to come. We can't solve this problem overnight. This forum is a reminder and an update that the vision that we have hold true, and to update where we stand so that we can be guided for a better work. Now that we know what we know, the burden and the duty lies in all of us. In closing, as Albert Einstein once said, those who have the privilege to know have the duty to act. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.